Next is our district leader, Nan's own, Harlem's own, William Allen. Could you please join me on this stage? Before they read William's bio, William Allen, if you know him, he is one of one. He is rare, he's a rare form. He is great energy, and he is brilliant. But William, well, I've known William since I was younger, because he's literally one of the leaders of Harlem. If you're doing something in Harlem and you don't know him, I don't think you're really a leader. But anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to shoot. But when he came and joined our Nan family as a staffer, and then he went and ran for city council, and he's doing his thing politically. He did great things here. But one thing that he did for me, specifically, was he blessed Nan's Youth Huddle. Since the first Monday that he started, he wanted to meet with me. And if you know, I'm a little hard to meet with. He's like, I want to meet with you, I want to talk to you, I want to make sure we have to expand Huddle, we have to get kids in here. He was trying, he was always strategizing. And once I finally sat down with him, I realized why. Because he was Nan Youth Huddle before Huddle was there. He was the young person in the community who knew all about politics. He was always outside, he was always teaching about civics. He did what he was supposed to do in college, he did what he was supposed to do after college. So he was an example of what we wanted to teach our young people to be. At that time, like I mentioned earlier, COVID hit us. COVID affected everybody greatly. Nobody knew what we were going to do. Nobody knew what the rallies would look like, what activism looked like, let alone day-to-day life. We stopped meeting in person. We started going online. But before that, there was a young man named Felipe Dosa. William Allen was getting honored at an event. And for some reason, and that's how you know God, like what Christian talked about earlier, this is faith-based. For some reason, William Allen met Felipe Dosa at that event and told him about Nan Youth Huddle. Why would William tell him about he knew so many groups in the world, he knows so many youth groups. He told him to join Nan's Youth Huddle. Felipe listened. He didn't join the meeting, he didn't jump in completely. He started coming online, coming, speaking, doing what it was about. Then he started offering little things. Then slowly but surely, he started working with William in the crisis department. From that, I saw what he had, what basically his brilliance, and I took him, honestly. But basically, William helped to foster a relationship with him as a man in this community and helped bring other young men. And that was one of the biggest huddle groups we had with William's help, rather. So let's clap that up, because he valued to come and teach these young people how to deal with us, how to create a lane here and advocate for themselves, but also he made it more appealing. He made politics more appealing. He made social justice more appealing, where sometimes our message was falling short. He made being cool, being a positivity, be cool. He made it okay to make them want to go read and ask them what they were reading, but what were you reading? And William, is there something we can do? Is there some pamphlets we can give out today? I was confused. I was like, these kids are coming in, not even for me, they're coming for you. So I just want to say thank you, because the point of Huddle was what you did, and you didn't have to do it. That was not your job. Your job was crisis, but you helped us. And you helped to activate young people who are still leading in this place today. So I want to tell you thank you personally. I want to tell you one more thing. Teresa Freeman, for those who know well enough. Teresa Freeman was the district leader here in Harlem. But Teresa Freeman was a pillar of the National Action Network, especially the New York City chapter. There will be no New York City chapter without Teresa Freeman. I don't care who tells you differently, it would not be. Teresa Freeman helped to start Nan's Youth Huddle. Without her expertise, without her money, without her resources, without her support, we would not be here today. She was here for the first 2 years, and then she died. And she lost some of her blood right there. Right there. But she was the person who brought him to us. She was the one who coached him. She was his huddle teacher. So I just want to say he helped to keep up the legacy and the memory of Teresa Freeman here. So I thank you for doing that. I thank you for pouring into us. And I thank you for being a leader in this community. In and day out. When it's cool and when it's not. And thank you for caring about black people irregardless. Thank you, William Allen. I don't know if you want to be inspired. You can. That was long. Let's go a little bit.
Honor to honor William Allen. Yes. After the senseless murder of his brother, 2 first cousins, and countless friends before he turned 21 years old. William Allen has maintained a life dedicated to public and community service to ensure that young people could live safely and succeed in our urban America. Allen credits the training he received through the NAACP, the New York City Mission Society, and the City University of New York in the most civic leadership of his life. One more part that you gotta know about William. 2 seconds. Prior to his executive appointment with the National Action Network, William Allen served as one of the few black election chiefs in America as the Manhattan Deputy Chief Clerk of the New York City Board of Elections. Allen graduated from LaGuardia High School of Music and Art. After attending the local public schools in Harlem, Allen earned a BA in Speech and Urban Legal Studies from City College of New York, a MS in Urban Affairs from Hunter College, CUNY, and a Master in Public Administration from John Jay College of Criminal Justice. Yes, you can clap that up. He started his PhD studies in urban systems at Rutgers University. During his CCNY days, he was in a joint college and law school with New York Law School. The joint partnership between CCNY and New York Law led to the creation of the CUNY Law School. Allen is currently in the process of continuing the legal studies to practice law. To some I present, and to others, we know him here in Harlem and we love him. Our honoree, and we are honored for 2024, none other than Mr. William Allen.
Thank you, ladies. Give it up to these two ladies. I'm really in tears, so I'm really a crybaby. Those who know me, you know, they're up front, my cousin and her son. And I'm crying tonight, largely because of two of the other honorees that's here, these two young men. And I look at their mom and the grandmother. And I was that kid. Woo. My mom, who's now 88, she's on beginning stage of dementia. I'm now her power of attorney and her medical proxy, and like that takes a lot of work. But I think about the time she took me and my late twin brother and my older brother to all these doggone meetings. And the early meetings, we used to go to the 3-2 precinct on 135th Street, and it was in the basement. And my brothers wasn't really into it, but I was. I was very much like Nino. I would sit up front with my little notepad and I would take the minutes. I was like 4 years old. You know, and we then had a babysitter, the late Nancy Bynum. And so a couple of times a week we would be at the church, Shallow Baptist Church. And I gotta tell you, I learned more about, back in those days, I could name every single funeral parlor in Harlem. Because Miss Bynum knew all the funeral directors. And we would stop at all the funerals and all the repasts, and we would eat. And so by the time we got home, I didn't understand it back then, but I understand it now what she was doing. Because we were really poor, right? So by the time we got home, my mom said, "Are you hungry?" We said, "No." Because we had ate at all the repasses. You know, and so I think of that story because the women, the grandmothers' types in our lives are the ones that save us for a bright future. And if we don't praise our grandmothers and our mothers today, then who are we? So give praise to your grandmothers, your moms, and the women in your life because it really makes a difference. So I got to tell you, all of the things that these two great ladies read about my life, that's where my inspiration comes from. You know, and let me just say quickly about my late brother, Teddy, who was shot dead at 142nd Street and Adam Powell near Drew Hamilton Projects. On the day of his murder, I tried to convince him to go with me to Minnesink and to hang out with me. And he refused. He refused. And when I finally got home, actually after I left Minnesink, I went to the Fred Sammy Democratic Club. It wasn't called that back then. And I went to the political club, and I'm 15 years old. I get home to 140th Street, 210 West, into the house. Mrs. Lois Banks drives me home for some reason. I don't understand why was she driving me home. It's only a few blocks. But she must have got the call from my mom or something that my brother was in a coma at the Harlem Hospital. And I didn't really think my brother loved me. I'm gonna be straight up. Until 1 year ago, a good friend of mine whose mother was Dr. King's nurse at Harlem Hospital when he was stabbed. And his name is Junior, he's a retired detective. He said, "Your brother loved you madly." I said, "What?" He said, "Yo, when those guys wasn't jumping you with all those books you were carrying and musical instruments, your brother dared them to touch you." I didn't know that. I needed to know that. So what's my point? We are all each other's brother's keeper. We are each other's keeper. And the fact that Ashley understood the importance of young people huddling. She don't realize how many lives she's saving.
Yes.
Lives that you don't even know about yet. So I don't want to take up too much time, but I'm just really, my heart is so filled. I feel so much at home here. And I'm very happy that Reverend Dr. Sharpton gave me a chance to also work here and to give a greater contribution. And when I was here, I loved crisis management. I loved it. And I'm glad that I was able to even make a contribution to that. Right now, Legal Night is national. When I was here, before I got here, it was just New York. And now it hits all the states. It's now national, right? Crisis is now in 40 states. It's in 40 states. We had crisis, what was it? Crisis Tuesdays or Wednesdays? You know, and we had like 30 volunteers. It was great, it was incredible. So my point is, I'm gonna end with this quote about your contribution. Particularly young people, old people, wherever you are in your age in your life, you still can make a contribution. George Washington Carver said, "A common thing done uncommonly well will always command the attention of the world." God bless all of you, and thank you.
That has surprised us. Everyone in the room is falling out. Aww. Okay, let's take this picture real quick. Come on, buddy.
Look forward here, please.
That's gorgeous. I got the video.
Excellent.
Thank you so much. Well, Rev, since you came.
Yeah, so we heard that if our founder and president came, we would have our youngest huddler to introduce him with his motto. So let's introduce now our brother Marcus Al to come. All introduce, you gonna do it? Me? You do it? All right, so we have presented this award earlier. Reverend Malcolm Bird was here with us and he accepted it, but we would be nowhere without our auspicious leader, our founder and president, who started his activism at a very early age and who has been nothing but encouraging and supporting of our young people in this space, making sure that we have this space for young people to come, to convene, to thrive, to organize, to learn. And so we thank you, Reverend Al Sharpton, for providing us this opportunity to hold this space and to hold our huddle meetings. Our young people have been thriving and have been actively involved, and we know that this is just the beginning. Although we're 10 years strong, we would be nothing without you. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We wanted to present you with this award and hear from our founder, Ashley Sharpton.
Like I said earlier, to the original Huddler, the original youth advocate, the reason that all of us are here today, thank you so much for all you do, all you are, your sacrifice. You will never get enough credit for all you do. But we love you, we honor you, and we are here to take it forward. However long that is, whatever that means. Let's go. Thank you, we honor you, we love you. Gino and Katie, can you join us on stage? So we take it forward, please? Christian, you do it? Quickly? I got it. On behalf of National Action Network's Youth Huddle, he was your 2024 Champion of Change Award. I know you just came to support. You didn't know you were getting an award, but thank you. We love you.
Okay, Kate, you look this way, please. Thank you.
No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. What do we want? Justice. What do we want? Justice. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. 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 All right. I'm having a dinner meeting raising funds for the convention. So I told them I was going to the bathroom. They think I'm in the bathroom now. I told Chris to get the car and let's surprise Huddle tonight. I never go to Huddle because I want the young people to be able to do their thing and not worry about me sitting there watching them. But on the 10th anniversary, I said I had to surprise them, and I had to surprise Dominique and Ashley. Ashley founded it, and Dominique, to let them know how much Huddle means to me and to the organization. And to all of you that have been honored tonight, it warms my heart because I know that National Action Network will live on, because these young people are growing up in National Action Network. One of the things that I wanted to make sure of is that we wouldn't be a movement that goes when its founder sits down. And that's what we're building with Huddle. And as William Allen said, I was sitting back there, standing back there listening to William Allen. And after a while, I was saying, is he gonna talk all night long? He's messing up my surprise entrance. But the more you talk, the more it warmed my heart. And all of you that have been here, the young people and the adults that come out and support them, it means a lot to the organization. So I didn't think it would be our first decade anniversary if I didn't at least show my face for a few minutes. And when I look around the room, Terrence Floyd and others that we've fought with and for down through the years, it means a lot. Tomorrow is the 18th anniversary of me doing Keeping It Real on radio. And you just don't know what time goes. 18 years. This August, I have been doing Politics Nation for 13 years. the organization will be 33 years old next month, and then Sister Bland, I see out here, and then we Keepers of the Dream Dinner. This will be our 25th year. And I sent Ashley and Dominique and JT a clip today. The first dinner we hadn't got to the Sheraton yet. We was at the Grand Hyatt on 42nd, and the speaker was Mrs. Coretta Scott King. A quarter of a century ago. So we've been in the trenches a long time, but a lot of these huddlers was born 20 years after that. And that's the strength of the movement, and if it wasn't for you, it wouldn't have been a movement. And I give credit to all of you for supporting them. This was a vision that Ashley had and Dominique had, and a vision that Kathy had. It wouldn't have been nothing without Kathy. Some of the folks that worked with her from Canaan coming in cooking, they didn't know how many people would show up, but they had food here and every week. So I just want to let y'all know how important y'all are to the movement and important y'all are to me. And before the folk I'm having dinner with think that I had diarrhea or something, I'm going back down like I was in the bathroom. But y'all have a great night, and thank God for Huddle.
Thank you. Let's clap up. Let's stand to our feet and clap up our leader, Reverend Al Sharpton. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, before our last award, our final award, that was a great surprise. I would like to call Gina Williams and Gino Williams to the stage. Gino and Gina. Gino and Gina. All right. Literally, to me, local superheroes. Since I met them, you came to Derek, I believe, right? Derek Perkins. And William. Derek and William, I met Gina Williams, right. And Beverly, I mentioned Teresa Freeman earlier. Beverly was Derek's aunt. Oh, and Gina's aunt. I didn't know that. So her legacy lives on through Gina. Beverly was also a pillar here. When Rev ran for the Senate, her and Teresa Freeman were responsible for helping with his campaign. And they were, before NAM was anything, before people believed in Rev, before anybody even was here, they were here, they believed, and they did the work to help put the action behind him. So this is her niece. I did not even know that this is Beverly's niece. That's amazing. And she lived with Teresa Freeman. Oh, you worked for her. Okay, so you said that in your speech. But first of all, so Gina Williams, I met through Derek Perkins and William Allen. And she got my attention because she's always doing something. Like Gina's always into something. She always has like random information to offer. She always has flyers. It's always something, and it's something positive. It's something that you should know, but it's just like, what Gina? What you said? So she's always emailed all these emails, and it's just like, who is this lady? She's so active. Like she's so community, and then she fit in perfectly. But then, what really got my attention was every election. If you're from Harlem, Huddle, if you're from Huddle, when you were here when Dominique Johnson was here, we used to canvass. On election day, we would go out and make sure everybody knows that you can vote and where to vote. Every time you passed 135th Street, you would see Gina and this little boy with curly hair out there working the polls. And I was like, is that her son? Like, he was like 4. And he was outside every election. You will always see Gina with Gina, like William talked about earlier. But it wasn't just like, like he talked about earlier too, we all went with our parents to church and it was like, I have to go. He was into it. He knew what he was talking about. He knew what he was doing. And he was excited about it. Then he started coming to Huddle. Gina made sure Gino was at Huddle every Monday. For the last 3 years I can remember, I cannot remember one Monday that Gino was not here. Let's clap that up. one Monday. Now you're almost my height. You were like this high when you first came. And then you brought Giselle. Giselle is not here. We have a special award for Giselle. So before Christian, Giselle was our youth leader rep. She still is, but she did it all on her own for about a year and a half. And politics was not her interest or her passion, but she did it because this lady helped to push her here. At a convention, we met Giselle on Youth Day, and Gina had her helping to volunteer and make her be a part of it because Youth Day is more fun activities. It's not just politics and social justice work. But then she made her start coming on Mondays to Huddle. And Giselle found her voice, and she found her way of advocacy and how she liked it. She made her own little way and creative way about it, and she started leading Huddle every week. She would beat me here and tell me, oh, I got the Huddle flow, actually. Come on, you do what you gotta do. And it's like, oh, okay. So, but that was because of your leadership. And I don't want y'all ever to get confused. A lot of people say Ashley's kids, but I don't claim them as just I don't do this without y'all. This is all of us. This is a unit. Gina Williams is a part of our unit. Gina Williams is the reason why the Huddle has helped to last in the last 3 years. Some people, Patrice is one of the reasons why it's helped to last since the beginning. Dominique, my mother, Lisa, so many people here, but she was one of the newer people, one of the newer seeds, and one of the people that poured into us, but she did not have to do that. She could have just kept going because she was already active. Her son was already active, but she chose to pour in here with Huddle and to pour in with us and help him to become a leader here in this community. And Gina is a community leader. I've seen her grow tremendously from the ground outside to now working in and out of people's offices and making elected officials listen and do things they're supposed to do and hold them accountable and push legislation. That is the work that is important in this community, and she is the single mother doing it. Let's clap that up. She works day in and day out, and she makes sure her child is safe, coming and traveling alone, coming and doing what he has to do, making sure that he is in positive environments as she does what she has to do. Because of that, I honor you. I honor your service, I honor your sacrifice, I honor your time, and I honor your voice. I honor your leadership with your son. And I thank you for trusting us to bring your child and your niece to us, because you didn't have to, Gina. I thank you, and I see you, and I appreciate you. And God bless you both. On behalf of National Action Network's Youth Huddle, I present you with this. Let's give them a hand.
While some people are still getting their foods, we are going to continue on with the program. I hope that you're enjoying your food. Clap it up for all of those that catered tonight's delicious food. We certainly thank them. Jacob's, Charles Penn Fried Chicken. We have a lot of folks that pour into our young people, so we want to thank them, as always, for feeding our souls. And I know that it is delicious. I haven't gotten to mine yet, but I hear y'all smacking, so I know that it is definitely enjoyable. I want to also just shout out a couple of folks in the house that we are just honored to have join us. One of the Central Park 5, the exonerated 5, he always pours into Huddle, always amongst us at National Action Network. Please give it up for Brother Corey Wise in the house. Thank you so much for joining us. Also want to just pay homage to our Patterson, New Jersey chapter leader, and she's also the founder of Jumpstart Productions. They're here tonight, some of our young people from Patterson and from Jumpstart here with us tonight. Please give it up to Sister Jamie Bland and the young people that came all the way from New Jersey to join us on this evening. Thank you so much, young people, for joining us. Keep up the good work. We look forward to continuing to interact with you as we are doing this important work. We also hear that our newly elected councilman, who is doing a lot of important work also in the village of Harlem, also one of the exonerated 5, and who we always are so honored to have us join us at the House of Justice. Give it up to Councilman Yusef Salam in the House. And I saw him earlier, I don't know if he's still with us, but one of our pillars of our community who has always been vocal in making sure that we are not only represented on the political hemisphere in the state of New York, but also nationally, and who is a Harlemite. I mean, if you walking through Harlem, you'll see him. He's always involved, always on the case, always on the move, always in the action. Give it up to one of our Harlem pillars, Keith Wright, who is in the house. All right, we'll be acknowledging people throughout the program, but I want to bring back our founder, Sister Ashley Sharpton, who will kick off our awards ceremony.
Yeah. Thank you, Dominique Sharpton. Let's clap her up. All right. Even though I spotted the huddle, I'm still the Shire Sharpton, so forgive me. All right. Stay out of your way. Christian and Patrice, I need you both on the stage with me. Our first award tonight goes to Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg. He had another event tonight, so he sent representation. Let's clap him up. We felt Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg, for those who do not know, you're going to hear his bio, but he's one of Harlem's finest, Harlem's very own. I'm sorry. One of Harlem's very own. Oh, he's on music, I thought that was in the video. Okay. Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg, if you're from here, if you are from Harlem, you know him well. You've seen him outside. He teaches Sunday school, and he's still the Manhattan District Attorney. He literally is taking on Trump. For that alone, he should get all the awards in the world. But basically for making it on his own in Harlem. He had determination, he was determined. He stayed focused, he stayed out of trouble. He has been a victim of gun violence, and now he's fighting gun violence and creating legislation around it and fighting around it. So at the end of the day, I think that he is an incredible source of inspiration for our young people. During the COVID, William Allen, who was one of our honorees, helped bring in a whole cohort of young men. Felipe Dosa, who's our National Youth and College Director currently, and Usman Diallo, they helped to organize and get out the word and get out the vote around for Alvin Bragg. They helped to get out the vote, and they challenged him. They welcomed him to come here. Well, first, let me back up. They welcomed him to come here to talk to him about what was important and what was his actual platform and what was he trying to campaign about before he was elected. And instead of ignoring them, he listened to them and he took on their challenge, and he came here and he spoke to the young people, just not to us, not to Dominique and Ashley. He spoke to those young people and answered every question that they had for him. Then he kept relationships with them. He welcomed them, he taught them how to do things in the community, and then he won. So for them to be a part of that historic campaign, for him to take the time out of his busy life to come and talk to us and huddle up with us, and that wasn't his only huddle, he kept coming to huddle. And regardless if we invited him, sometimes he just popped up. So that's the kind of leadership that we need. That's the kind of leadership that's the leader that he is. So I wanted to make sure that we honor Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg tonight. And we honor him every time we huddle up. When you see us, make sure you understand that you see him. One time for his bio real fast, and then we're gonna give you the award.
Alvin J. Bragg Jr. is the 37th District Attorney elected in Manhattan. A son of Harlem who has served as both a state and federal prosecutor, Alvin has spent more than 2 decades fighting to make our community safer and our criminal justice more fairer. He is the first Black Manhattan District Attorney in the history of the office. That deserves a round of applause. He is the first Black District Attorney. Alvin restructured the DA's office to focus more resources on prosecuting serious violent crimes, meeting the needs of survivors, reducing causes of criminal behavior, protecting everyday New Yorkers from abusive by powerful, and correcting past injustices by vacating wrongful convictions. Alvin also directly oversees a unit to root out criminal misconduct. Under his leadership so far, the office has increased gun possessions, focused on gun traffickers and ghost gun manufacturers, and charged and secured convictions for numerous armed robberies, shootings, and homicide. At the same time, the office invests in community-based gun violence prevention programs and services to address the trauma suffered by victims, witnesses to gun violence. And so that is just a quick blurb about the bio of the Manhattan DA, Mr. Alvin Bragg. And to accept the award on his behalf is his Director of Community Engagement again, Mr. Jordan Page. Let's welcome him to receive the award.
Good evening, everyone. To reiterate again, my name is Jordan Page. I'm not the director as yet, but thank you so much for the manifestation. I am the Community Engagement Coordinator for West and Central Harlem as of right now. And on behalf of DA Bragg, he does send his apologies for not being able to be here this evening. But he does thank you guys so much for your support, and thank you so much for this award. And he does really, really enjoy working with the youth of the city, but because we're in Harlem, most importantly Harlem. So he definitely thanks you guys so much for this award and cherish you all so much. And we look forward to working with you all in the future. Again, thank you.
Raise it up high so we can see it. Good.
Thank you so much. Let's clap up Manhattan DA Bragg and Mr. Jordan. All right. Our next awardee is Mr. Terrence Floyd of We Are Floyd organization. He's the founder of We Are Floyd organization and the brother of George Floyd. Patrice?
We are so honored to honor our honoree today. And if I can have the House of Justice, just a little bit of silence so we can pay true homage to our honoree. Social activist, brother of George Floyd, and founder of We Are Floyd organization. As Terrence Floyd once said, I talk when my brother can't talk no more. Walk when my brother can't walk no more. And love when my brother can't live no more. Since his brother's tragic death, Terrence has served as a tireless community leader and grassroots organizer, sharing a message of unity, equality, criminal justice reform, and civil and human rights. With the mission of giving youth in America a reason to believe in a better tomorrow, Terrence shares proactive solutions for ending racial and structural inequity in ways that bring about real and lasting change. He serves audiences with his brother's story and inspires younger generations to make a difference, to know their worth, and to realize they have a voice and a purpose that needs to be heard. I present to others, and I present none other our honoree this afternoon and evening, Brother Terrence Floyd.
On behalf of National Networks and Huddle, I present to you our 2024 Champion of Change, your award, Terrence. Thank you for your service. Thank you for all you do.
I'm not used to this. Peace and blessings, everyone. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Okay, y'all. Oh, you're live in here. Good.
How you doing?
Yes, they say, as you know, I'm George Floyd's brother, but I'm also the son of George Floyd Sr. That's my connection to my brother. And I just want to thank my Nan family, my family, my friends, everybody for this award, for the support, for the love, for the prayers towards my family. I want to give a special thank you to